Hello there, YouTubers. I'm Dan Mason, and I have another response to a YouTube atheist. My title for this video is The Bankruptcy of the Materialistic Worldview. Let us begin. The assertion that induction may not be fully justifiable, but it is practically inescapable, is nothing more than a concession wrapped in philosophical hand-waving. It openly admits that the foundation of knowledge under an atheistic, materialistic, or impersonal worldview is unjustifiable, while simultaneously insisting that one must proceed as though it were. This is intellectual theft, borrowing capital from the Christian worldview while denying the source. To say, "We have no way to fully justify anything," is to plunge oneself into absolute epistemological nihilism, where knowledge, reason, and even the assertion itself lose all authority and meaning. You cannot have it both ways. If nothing can be justified, then your entire critique collapses under its own weight. For even your objection presumes that your reasoning is valid, that language has meaning, and that communication can convey truth. But under the worldview you defend, atheistic materialism, there is no ground for such confidence. There is no rational bridge from molecules in motion to transcendent laws of logic. There is no bridge from purposeless matter to objective reason. The notion that complete arbitrariness, chaos, randomness, and pure chance is just as unjustified as complete consistency, uniformity, and order is a clever but empty philosophical evasion. It is not a neutral starting point. The Christian worldview offers an ontological basis for the intelligibility of the universe, the triune God, or in biblical terms, the one Lord, who has created, ordered, and sustains all things. Laws of logic, mathematics, and science reflect his unchanging nature. By contrast, the atheistic worldview offers no sufficient cause, no grounding, no rational explanation for why anything is predictable, let alone why anything should be orderly. You are attempting to escape accountability by pretending that inanimate objects don't need prescriptive laws because they lack agency. This is a category error. The issue is not whether rocks and atoms possess agency. The issue is why inanimate objects obey describable patterns at all. Why is gravity uniform? Why does water always boil at 100 degrees Celsius under standard pressure? Why do the laws of logic hold in all places at all times? Who imposes these boundaries, and why are they constant? To say that there is no lawgiver, no orderer, no designer, is to admit the fundamental weakness of your position. Without an eternal, rational, personal source, you are left with an impersonal, irrational chaos that somehow yields intelligible order. That is not just unlikely, it is metaphysically absurd. The assertion that you're basically begging the question by presupposing that without your specific source of order and uniformity, there will be the kind of chaos that your specific source of order supposedly manages is a misrepresentation of the Christian claim. Christians do not presuppose chaos. Rather, we assert that the very ability to speak intelligibly about order, reason, and science presupposes a rational creator. Without him, you are left with a foundationless epistemology, a blind leap into the dark, hoping that your borrowed assumptions will continue to function even though your worldview cannot account for them. Let me be clear. The Christian worldview is not one option among many. It is the precondition for intelligibility itself. If the universe is truly a product of random impersonal forces, then all reasoning, yours included, is nothing more than biochemical determinism, and there is no reason to trust it. The very fact that you appeal to order, that you rely on uniformity to construct arguments, that you expect consistency in the physical world, demonstrates that you live every day as though the God of the Bible is real, even as you deny him. As the Apostle Paul declares, "Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools." Romans 1:22. You cannot simultaneously reject the author of logic and then lean upon logic to make your case. You cannot reject the creator of order and then rely on order to argue against him. That is the ultimate intellectual hypocrisy. It is a rebellion against the one in whom you live, move, and have your being. Acts 17:28. In closing, your worldview collapses under the weight of its own inconsistencies. It is a borrowed house with no foundation, a castle made of sand, propped up by the very structure you deny. Repent of this self-defeating circularity. The Christian worldview alone provides the necessary preconditions for knowledge, science, morality, and rational discourse. There is no coherence, no ultimate justification, no truth apart from the one true God. And that is not a presupposition to be begged. It is the reality that upholds your every breath, whether you acknowledge him or not. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment. Please like and subscribe.